It's Saturday afternoon and it's 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time here in Los Angeles, and 3 senators have tested positive for COVID-19. And with that, the Senate is now in recess. Mitch McConnell made the announcement minutes ago that until October 19th, the Senate will be in recess. So what does that mean about getting legislative approval for your second stimulus check? What does it mean about your second stimulus package and hazard pay and FPUC and rent? What does it mean about what Nancy and Steve are doing this weekend? And what does it mean about executive orders? Those questions and more are answered in this broadcast. And this is Afternoons LALATE. Hey, good afternoon, everybody. This is Afternoons LA with really a shocking set of developments this afternoon. Again, this recording is at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and situations could change and unfold even after that. I've been recording 2 videos today, if you saw, Mornings LA and 14, which were recorded about 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, and even since then the situation has changed. If you've not subscribed, go to the Funniest channel, subscribe, because I'm literally keeping you up to date by the minute. Also, if you're part of this community, I send alerts on the community page of this channel, so make sure you hit the alert button on the channel so you get alerts like what I'm telling you right now. This video is going live at 3:30, but the news of this video was breaked on the channel at about 12:30 Pacific Standard Time. Also, like this video, because this will be the most comprehensive video about what's going on, at least at the moment, for your second stimulus check. Yesterday, I detailed to you the importance of understanding the difference between fact, opinion, and analysis, and also source data. Fact is a statement. Analysis is someone's opinion and a processing of the facts. Opinion is just, their version of what they think is going on. And finally, source data is third-party data, a third-party source that's not on the record. Today, it literally is so important to understand the difference between that, because I know you're going to say, I heard, I thought, I wonder, what do you think, what does that mean? And reporting the details and facts to you right now, I need to make sure that you understand that I'm going to separate everything out to you, because there is no answers for a lot of the stuff. First, the Senate is on recess to October 19th. This fact, Mitch McConnell made this announcement minutes ago. Fact, this is a result of several senators, both Democrats and Republicans. Apparently, Dianne Feinstein was among them, saying, "We can't be in session. What is going on here, Mitch? End the session. Let's protect ourselves health-wise." It came amid a third senator now confirmed contracted COVID-19, confirmed as positive in the last 24 hours. We don't know when he contracted it. And that took it over the edge. That third positive test was Republican Senator Ron Johnson of Wisconsin. He joined the other 2 that I had announced earlier on this channel on Mornings on 14. Senator Mike Lee of Utah, Tom Tillis of North Carolina. Both of those are on the Senate Judiciary Committee, which of course is dealing with the Amy Coney Barrett nomination. And this is the third Republican that has tested positive today. So the fact that October 19th means the Senate is in recess, what does that mean about your second stimulus check? What does it mean about what's going on with Steve and Nancy? What does it mean about the president's executive orders? Today's broadcast on Afternoons LALATE, which starts with this, hazard pay at 30 minutes from now, FPUC 30 minutes after that, and then Pelosi versus Mnuchin are literally going to be totally different than anything you've seen from me before. What I've done is I've literally taken your comments, and I'll be going over your comments, and I will be going over procedurally where we are, because I don't think it serves any purpose to say we're going from point A to point B, because at the moment, point B has been shut down. Let me explain what's going on. First fact, to pass a law legislatively, you have to have a vote of the Senate and approval of the Senate. So it's important to understand that there's 3 steps, as someone says. How many times you got to explain this on camera, Ellen? As many times as people are still confused. As another person said, there was that Saturday morning cartoon. I know that Saturday morning cartoon. Well, I know it because I seen reruns. I wasn't born then yet, but I know that what's a bill? The bill that walks around with the feet below it. Yeah, I remember that commercial from reruns. I wasn't born yet. But yes, it needs to be voted and approved by the House. Needs to be voted and approved by the Senate and signed by the President. As to the third one, I've answered that question on 14, but I'll answer it again. The President can sign things, even though he's at Walter Reed. He does not need to have a pen. He can electronically do it. So the President can sign things. But the problem is the Senate. And I got to tell you, this is 1 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. I would not be surprised, I would not be surprised if Nancy Pelosi puts the House into recess. Let me go to the Senate. The Senate is in recess. So by putting the Senate into recess, the result is that you will not have a second stimulus check or a second stimulus package approved legislatively by law before October 19th. It is as simple as that. Now, let me give you the twist about this. This is not opinion. This is fact. Mitch McConnell can call them back for a special vote. Would he do it? That's an opinion now. I don't know. Do I know? I don't know what's going to go on. I don't know if there are going to be 10 more people contracted with COVID-19. But can he call the Senate back into session, even though they are in recess until October 19th? Absolutely. Absolutely. Can the President order the Senate into session, even though Mitch is not ordering them into session? Absolutely. Can they refuse not to show up? Absolutely. These are all facts. So as you sit here today, with them in recess, and if they stay in recess, you will not have legislative approval of your second stimulus check before October 19th. Can they be ordered back into session, or can they actually come back into session if Mitch changes his mind and has a special reconvening? Absolutely, yes, fact. Will that happen? I don't know. I really don't know. Next, there is a very big medical issue, and I don't want to go too much into this, but the medical issue is congressional leaders have been under fire for not quarantine or self-isolating, even if they're testing negative for 14 days. Steve Mnuchin was in the presence face-to-face with the President in the Oval Office this week. He is negative as of yesterday. Nancy Pelosi was in the presence of Steve Mnuchin days after Steve Mnuchin was in the presence of the President in the Oval Office. She tested negative for Friday. That does not mean that they won't test positive. That doesn't mean that a test one day negative could be positive the day after. You understand that with COVID-19, you don't show positivity after exposure for several days. Ultimately, I want to make very clear, no one who is negative is positive. Nancy Pelosi is negative. Steve Mnuchin is negative as yesterday. But there's a big call upon congressional leaders to self-isolate for 14 days. That's fact. So should they be in their offices? Opinion. I don't think so. Will they be in their offices? Well, this is where it's sort of becoming a gray area. What's happening is that some Republicans, despite the recess, are still meeting in subcommittees, which is different than the floor, to work on things. And among the things that they're working on the floor is the Judiciary Subcommittee. Opinion. Crazy. Crazy. According to the Senate standing rules of the U.S. Senate, committees may reconvene regardless of whether or not the Senate is in session, said Lindsey Graham in a statement minutes ago. So we will proceed with the nomination of Judge Amy Coney Barrett and will continue to reconvene all next week. The subcommittee. Crazy. Now, that's despite the fact that several members on that subcommittee are positive today. So how about your stimulus check? Well, I want you to understand the following, that when you have a person voting on something, a congressional leader, whether it's House or Senate, they also have staffers. So will that congressional leader be in their office with their staffers or not? The concern is that we do not have a lot of clarity from Congress, because this is happening so quickly, of whether people will actually go to their office and have staffers. Now, they can remotely communicate, but there won't be a Senate vote for anything. So as we sit here today, there cannot be a legislative path to get your second stimulus check until October 19th. How about executive order? Absolutely, there can be. The president can do executive order. The president can do executive order. The president should do executive order. Question is whether he will. The day started with Trump tweeting out, "Work together and get it done. Our great USA wants and needs stimulus," he tweeted from Walter Reed. "Work together and get it done." Yesterday, he woke up and spoke to Mark Meadows while he was still in the White House and said, "How's those stimulus talks going?" "How are those stimulus talks going?" said Mark Meadows. This is incredibly good news, but the issue is that how can it functionally get done? It functionally cannot pass anything at the moment. So Steve and Nancy theoretically could talk on the phone today and tomorrow. Theoretically, Nancy and Steve can talk on the phone and reach a deal today and tomorrow. Theoretically, Nancy could talk to her subcommittee chairs about, revising numbers and say, what if we did FPUC at 550, can we afford that? Call up Steny Hoyer, call up this and call. They can do everything remotely. That's absolutely fine. But that's not a law. That's an agreement. She would have to then take that agreement and put it to the House floor for a new vote, because it's a new bill. Her bill that is on the House floor that was approved on Thursday is not going to be the agreement between her and Steve Mnuchin, if there is one. And so what's ultimately going to happen is that if there is a new agreement between Steve and Nancy, there's not going to be a House vote for it if the House is not in session. Fact, currently the House is still in session. Nancy Pelosi has not canceled the House in session, but this is a 1 o'clock recording, and things could still change. But even if she got the House to approve it, it means much of nothing because the Senate's not in session. So the president can do this by executive order. The question or not is whether he will. I got to tell you, here's opinion. There's something that is clearly not going in the president's favor. We're less than 30 days away from the election. There's no stimulus package happening. The president has COVID. Everyone that's a Republican that was around him at that Rose Garden is suddenly popping up as COVID. And he's tweeting out, "Let's get stimulus package done." Well, the reason why, potentially, opinion, is that this is really going to hit the economy badly. The stock market does not like uncertainty, and this is uncertainty like you've never seen. A president positive, the first lady positive, congressional leaders that would pass your stimulus package and run the government positive. Concerns that next in session could be positive. Uncertainty as to where the contractions and exposures occurred. Also uncertainty. Wall Street doesn't like uncertainty. And that's just not going to fare well on the economy over the next 30 days. So the president may ultimately do second stimulus by executive order if he really sees and wakes up, opinion, that it can't be done legislatively now. It cannot be done legislatively now, and if he hopes to win this election, and he understands the pressure on the U.S. economy now, amid a very bad jobs number, and now amid very bad uncertainty about what's the future of this Congress and this president, where people are sick, he should do the executive orders right away. I mean, he should not even wait. Senator Johnson feels healthy and is not experiencing symptoms, says a spokesperson for Johnson. He will remain isolated until all things are cleared by his doctor. That is good. Senator Lindsey Graham, I plan to move ahead with the nomination as soon as the committee meets. The concern is, though, where are we going? Trump has remained in Walter Reed, will remain there for a couple of days. He still can get things done. There was a renewed sense of optimism to get this done legislatively, even coming into this recording, until we had this domino effect of COVID-19 cases. And now that we do, and now that we have the Senate shut down, we have to be very honest with ourselves. I got to be very frank to you. I'm never going to mince my words, and I'm going to tell you bad and good. And the fact that legislatively you can't get this to from point A to point B is not good. But remember, this is the purple power. And the purple power has always been focused on executive orders. We've never been focused on legislative process. And it's times like this that the president should do executive orders. Let me answer some of your 1,900 questions from yesterday before even these events unfolded. Pink Bride, I wish for everyone's health to be safe. JR, I don't believe a word coming out of Pelosi's mouth. Lisa, I think she's still stalling playing games. Aaron, Trump is making them do their job. Somebody needs to. Kevin Bergen, she still needs to be gone. John Henry, it's called Slay the Dragon. John, raising the government salaries needs to be left out of the bill. Michael, this is like a soap opera, twists and turns. Stephen, she's been stringing us all along. Marilyn, she's not going to be making it so we can get anything. She doesn't care. Ron, let's pray that Pelosi's truthful today. Sadly, we started the morning with the belief that there could be a deal by Sunday. The problem is that if there is a deal by Sunday, will a House still be in session, or is she going to cancel the House's session? Will that be put to a vote on the House floor? And what will happen then with the Senate? With the Senate now closed and not in recess, will it be brought back from recess? And who would bring it back? And why would it be brought back? Bernardino, smoke and mirrors, so she and fellow Democrats can claim they did something. Carol Jacobs, President Trump family sent to Walter Reed, speeding moments ago, speedy 1995. Melody, the Temple of Doom thought that everyone was going to cave in. Sherry, mail-in ballot and the names I knew didn't get my vote. Kathy, why can't we, the people, get a standalone bill? Ray Gutierrez, she's blowing smoke she has for a long time. Here's opinion. We had always talked about why the president wasn't doing executive orders. And I said to you, at some point, it will be too late. He cannot wait any longer to do the executive orders. For purposes of himself and his reelection, it's now too late. For purposes of us and us getting it, it's not too late. This is a situation where he has now put himself against the wall because he is now sick, because the Congress is now closed effectively for purposes of getting legislative approval, that he now has to do executive order. And that if he does executive order today, which is October 3rd, when could you get the stimulus checks? Well, I could say what Steve Mnuchin says, which is, 10 days from the date at which it becomes law, it would be sent out by the Treasury from the IRS. Well, that's assuming that no one in that office has been tailored back or pulled back because they're COVID-19 positive. If you suddenly start to see an implosion of people in an office testing COVID-19 positive, things get delayed. And as things get delayed, stimulus checks don't go as fast. As stimulus checks don't go as fast, you may not have the stimulus checks in your hand by the time in which you vote. And if you don't have the stimulus checks in your hand by the time you vote, will you be voting for the president? That's why I had always said, get the checks out sooner than later. And for purposes of him, it's potentially now too late. D. Luss, I think she's getting old. Patsy Welch, thank you for saying positive. Trish, I've heard he's in the hospital. Jeff, they're so close, just split the difference and be done. Pamela, just worried about the airlines, her broom in her shop. Susan, I'll believe it when I see it. Tom, just asking her airlines to stop furloughing people. Samuel, once again, thank you so much. One reason I think Nancy and Steve have stepped up in the play is because they're very aware that voters are unnerved, which is a very way to say it. They're uneased. But I gotta tell you, COVID-19 does what COVID-19 wants to do. It doesn't care about your stimulus check. COVID-19 doesn't care about what Steve and Nancy are doing. And COVID-19 is a virus, and the virus will do what it wants to do. This is all opinion. But ultimately, had executive orders been done by this president weeks ago, you would have had your stimulus check. We would not have been in a predicament to wait and hope that a movement from Steve and Nancy would do this. Now the face of the situation is very clear. The Senate is closed. And until the Senate is reopened, legislatively you will not have stimulus. The president can do executive order. He should do executive order. The purple power will remain focused on getting executive order done, but ultimately it won't help this president. It's now too late for him. It will help you, but ostensibly the checks will be received after the decision of this election. If you've not subscribed, go to the Funnest channel, subscribe. This is just a very, very peculiar day, and things are far from over. And I know it's just really weird, and I'm trying to keep you positive. And I know my expression on my face, I show a lot of expressions on my face. So also like this video. In the next video, I'll try to tone it down a little bit, and I'll try to keep you focused as well. Coming up next is a continuation of this video with more details about what's unfolding. And then after that, unemployment, and then Pelosi versus Mnuchin, which would have been more effective had the Senate not been closed, but I will still be staying with that and telling you where they are on the negotiations. As always, have a great afternoon, and stay positive, stay focused, and stay LA for more.